Mosaic Brands has apparently closed 288 stores. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at an interesting example here. This is an article from news.com.au written by Rebecca Lee May, where she's discussing or headlining retail giant behind Noni B. Katie's Rockman's reveals 288 stores shut from the start of the pandemic. The fashion giant behind popular brands including Noni B has closed 288 stores since the pandemic began and doubled its profits. Now, this is an interesting example here. The headline of this article is 288 stores closed. And I initially thought of another example of the retail recession, another business that's having to close shops. You know, the retail giant behind Noni B. Katie's Rockman's continues to spit the dummy with landlords who won't budge on rent, revealing the number of stores it has closed has climbed to 288. Interesting framing. Really interesting framing there from Rebecca. I mean, think about it. I honestly think some of these retailers, and this is going to be an interesting case looking at them, they're in a tough situation. If they've got the lockdowns, that's destroying the foot traffic that they get. And they've got landlords which are probably terrible to deal with. I know I've dealt with commercial landlords and retail landlords. They're not, they're used to just increasing rent every year without doing anything and getting a share of all of the profits you make. So it's a beautiful system. It's such a joke. And I thought rather than go through this, we'll have a look at some of the things that are coming directly from Mosaic. But before we do that, they're listed. So let's have a look here. They're trading at 46 cents. And they're down from their peaks. You can see that fall back there that we had, at the beginning of last year. Now, what's happened is, everyone, they haven't paid a dividend in some time. So they haven't really popped up on my radar. Now, this is the type of company that, well, it's one that I am probably not the demo, guys. I'm probably not the demo. But if we jump here, there's what is it? Oh, Kelly, Jenny, there's a name they use on Wall Street Bets where they're talking about these type of companies, brands that appeal to the younger 20-something women. Never bet against Kelly or something like that, Starbucks and clothing lines and that type of thing. This would be that type of example, but I think this is an interesting company to watch. I mean, I know Rivers. There you go. I know one of them. An interesting company to watch because they're going to be in all these retail places and then they're going to impact the real estate investment trusts, and that's going to flow through to a lot of the super investments that people have or a lot of the investments we've made directly in REITs to see if, these tenants, not the anchor tenants, they wouldn't, maybe they're bigger. Rivers might be anchors in some places, but not really, are going to hang around. Now, one thing is they've been placed in a trading halt. This is a market announcement from ASX today. The securities of Mosaic Brands Limited, MOZ, MOZ, will be placed in trading halt at the request of MOZ pending it release an announcement. Unless ASX decides otherwise, the security will remain in trading halt until the earlier of the commencement of normal trading on Friday, the 3rd of September, 2021, or when the announcement is released to the market. So that will be interesting to see what happens there. Let's just have a quick look through the presentation here. I mean, you can see here's the highlights. Their EBITDA has gone up. So their earnings are up. They're now at 48 million. Last year, it was a 45 million negative. So that's an improvement. That's going well. They certainly have closed shops, everyone. I mean, there you go. EBIT is up. Gross margins are up. Cash is up. Online sales are up. Online sales mix, that's up. That's one to watch there, where it's going up, guys. And, we'll skip over this stuff. You've got to remember, I'm an architect, guys. So don't think the fact that we're looking at this constitutes any financial advice. You'll be a bloody idiot to think it is. You'd be a bloody idiot to take it from anyone online too. I mean, come on. All these people are like, I don't get it. You watch someone on YouTube and then you send them $50,000 in crypto thinking that's a good financial deal without a contract. I don't understand it. I guess it's crypto. People don't think it's real money. But here we have their portfolio. So Noni B, they've opened 1, closed 29. They've still got 184. Rockman's, they've opened 2, closed 60. They've still got 227. W Lane opened 0, they've closed 30, they're at 74. Beamy, they've opened 0, closed 27, and they've got 1 left. Miller's, they've opened 4, closed 28, they've got 255 left. Katie's, they've opened 4, closed 13, they've got 128. Autograph, they've opened 8, closed 18, they've got 79. And Crossroads, they've closed 62, opened none, and now they have none left. With Rivers, they've opened 14, closed 8, they've got 143. So here they're saying they've closed 278 stores. While the article is saying 288, that's probably from before June 2020, to make it sound a bit bad. So, I mean, that may be concerning everyone. But how many of those leases are ones they want to get out of? I mean, seriously. And they've got 1,091 shops left. Still, they still have a pretty decent fleet of shops. You know, and I mean, we'll go here. So digital is going up, online offerings are going up. So they're transitioning to offering online service. So they're an emerging player in the online retail. So there you go. Generation shift online. So if we have a look here, higher frequency and higher spending. US consumers 65 and older. I first thought that was 65 customers. On average, spent a total of 1,615 online from January through to October, a 49% increase from a year earlier, making them the fastest growing cohort of online shoppers. $1,600 on clothing. It's over 65s. The largest and most loyal customers, 50 and older, spend 7.6 trillion. Okay? So these are the targets they're trying to target. I don't blame them. UK, 65, over 60 now account for 30% of online purchases. International retailers now investing heavily. Yeah, but is this Mosaic, or are they trying to shift into it? You know, I wouldn't think they're targeting that age group. So, I mean, that's a brand reset is complete. Balance sheet improved. This is reduced. So, generally a good message there. And if we have a look here, this is their full year results. So they've returned to profitability in financial year 2021. Good news. That's great news. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? That's positive. Earnings are up. Gross margins are additional 37 million. Mosaic Brands today announced its full year results to June 27, 2021, returning to its history of delivering year-on-year profit growth. The group reported an EBITDA of 48.2 million for financial year 21, excluding Easy Buy. Comparable store sales grew in H2 by 5%, with margin growth for that period up 37%. Online sales achieved record revenue of $111 million. As a shareholder of Easy Buy, the group has worked with them to return them to profitability after 2 years of losses and delivered an EBIT of 3.7. Notwithstanding significant ongoing disruptions to our business throughout the year, including numerous lockdowns and store closures, we're incredibly pleased with the results we've achieved and the return to profitability due to actions we took to reset the entire group for the future, Mosaic Brands CEO Scott Evans said. The benefits of those actions became evident in the fourth quarter, which delivered our second most profitable quarter four on record, with comparable sales growth of 27.9% and comparable margin growth of 133 against a backdrop of subdued sentiment amongst our core consumer group due to COVID-19. Mr. Evans said, consistent with trends for the over 50 consumers in the UK, US, the group's customers were rapidly moving to online sales. So is that their consumers? So over 50s. Their offerings are expanding. Within last year, approximately 200 in-store only customers moved to also shopping online, and the group acquired 200 new online-only customers as a result of its expanded category and product range. Now, this is the challenge for a lot of these businesses, to see how they adapt, if they can shift to that online market. So then, I mean, thinking of this from an investment perspective, what businesses would these guys need to depend on for online logistics? One business I invested in is a real estate investment trust that just owns warehouses for Amazon. So we expect this trend to continue, and this underpins our focus for financial year 22, being big stores, big brands, and even bigger online range to meet customers' shifting purchasing behavior. The group is proposing to undertake a capital raising to strengthen its balance sheet given the ongoing uncertain environment due to COVID-19. The group will release full details and documentation relating to the proposed capital raising as soon as possible. So that's probably why we have that halt. As the case across the majority of the retail sector, recent widespread lockdowns during the first 2 months of financial year 22 have disrupted the group's momentum. Almost all stores across our entire portfolio experienced restrictions or full lockdowns in some form during this period. However, online sales continue to accelerate by delivering 23% growth in the first 8 weeks of financial year 22, with comparable store sales down 8% despite the impact of COVID. The group is confident that as lockdowns become less prevalent in the coming weeks and months, it will see a resumption of the fourth quarter growth trend and profitability by 22. Mosaic Brands Chairman Richard Bocconi acknowledged the current challenging period across the country, but said the group would welcome a unified approach to Australia safely opening up. For the entire retail sector, it's critical that by late October, stores nationally are able to open and be trading again. From supply chain logistics to customer and national sentiment, ongoing internal border beyond this time frame will leave lasting scars. I think we're already going to have it, frankly. But you can see that he's pushing for opening up of the domestic economy, just interstate travel. As one of the largest national retailers in the country, employing team members in metropolitan and regional areas, we also want them to get back to work as safely as possible right across Australia. So there we go. They're not providing a financial year 22 guidance, and no dividend for financial year 21 will be paid. I would not be surprised with that. So there we have it, everyone. What's the solution to this? Well, let's get on the soapbox and have a talk. So I think this is going to be an example to watch. This is a large retail business. They've got a lot of shops, over 1,000 still, and they're going to be definitely impacted by the lockdown after lockdown. They're in the retail sector. They'll have a lot of retail employees. So their ability to employ staff and pay staff, they're the people that are hit the hardest by these lockdowns, by these restrictions. So this will be a company I'll keep an eye on to see how they go and how they perform, because I think their ability to adapt to this changing environment is going to be a good litmus test for the rest of the economy, and to see how other businesses can adapt as well. What do you reckon? And if they're targeting the older market, getting them online, that's a challenge. I mean, here's the thing as well. We have to realize there are going to be some people that have actually gone online for the first time ever. And, now they're used to it. They may never go back to the old ways. We'll have to see. As always, thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.